Compound finance is arguably one of the better known decentralized financial protocols, and it's one of the first protocols that I used when I was starting to learn about lending cryptocurrency. But did you know that Compound also has its Compound Treasury program that allows institutions to deposit USD or USDC, leverage the underlying Compound protocol, and earn up to 4% APR. The Compound Treasury is interesting, not just because it represents a fusion of DeFi and traditional finance, but also because its stated 4% interest rate is more than double the rate of lending USDC directly. We're talking all about it in today's video. Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is the Part-Time Economist, and in today's video we are talking all about the Compound Treasury, this innovative lending platform that really blends together decentralized finance and traditional finance. Now, I'm assuming that most of you are not financial institutions, so this probably couldn't be considered financial advice for you, but just in case you are a financial institution, I will go ahead and let you know that this is still not financial advice and you should not make any kind of investing decisions based off of today's video. Also, if you could like, comment, or share the video with a friend, it would totally help me out. So with that being said, let's get right into it. I will admit that I am a little bit late to the party on this one because the Compound Treasury was actually released quite a while ago, I think sometime back in May of 2022. But it's still an interesting topic and discussion that we need to have. Essentially, what this program does is it allows institutional clients to deposit either USDC or, here's the big kicker, you can actually deposit underlying fiat USD into the Compound Treasury. What the Compound Treasury will then do is they process these funds and then lend them out through the Compound protocol. So essentially what they're doing is acting as a middleman, right? And this is what I think is really important for us to understand. A lot of financial institutions, they might want exposure to crypto, but they might not know the best way to do it. They might hear of these scams. They're not really sure how to get into it. So what Compound Treasury does is, yes, it does act as a middleman, and middlemen typically get a bad reputation, but we can see that there may be a use for it because what they're doing is they're allowing clients who have USD to essentially capitalize on crypto lending without having to do the process themselves. So Compound Treasury takes USD, USDC, converts it into whatever assets are needed to lend through Compound protocol. They, of course, give that 4% APR to their institutional clients, and whenever they need to withdraw, they, of course, process all of those withdrawals, all of the transaction requirements. So that's a very general overview of how the program works. Now let's get into some of the more interesting features about it. And the first interesting feature to me is that this is one of the first DeFi protocols that I'm aware of that has actually been given a credit rating. So for those of you who may not know, anytime you're looking at traditional financial instruments related to debt, right? So we're talking bonds. There are different rating agencies such as Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and I think the other one is Fitch. And what they do is they assign a credit worthiness, right? Obviously you want AAA, that's the highest you can get. And each rating service has, of course, its different ratings, right? Some use AAA, some use A+, whatever the case is, right? But you have AAA. That's the top of the top. And then you kind of move down, and at some point you get to what is called junk bonds. These are bonds that it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose your money by investing in them, but the chance of them going bust or bankrupt is significantly higher than a AAA, a AA, something like that. So what we can see is that the Compound Treasury was actually assigned a B- rating. Now, let's put things in perspective. This is a junk bond rating. So in that sense, you might be saying, well, I can get more money on a junk bond. But the interesting thing to me, again, this is the first time that I'm aware of that a DeFi protocol has had any kind of credit risk assigned to it, right? So yeah, a B- rating for many people in traditional finance, we look at that and we say, that's a junk bond. I'm not touching that. But if you're someone that's been in crypto and you've seen all the scams, you've seen all the craziness that goes on, that might be reassuring to you, right? Yeah, it is a B-, but at least a rating agency took a look at it and they said, yeah, we'll give it a B-, right? So someone at least somewhere did their due diligence. And I want to be clear, even though a B- rating technically is junk bond, it's at the upper tier of junk bonds. You can go a lot lower when it comes to junk bonds, right? So again, I don't want you to think that this is by any stretch saying you shouldn't even consider this protocol, right? It's simply one piece of information given by one rating agency. Now, what are some of the potential reasons that it might not have got a higher rating? You can think of a lot of different potential reasons, but one thing that I think might be a factor is the interest rate that they are giving their institutional clients is 4%. Now, keep in mind, the way this protocol works is it takes funds from clients. It essentially just lends them out through the Compound protocol and acts as an intermediary. So typically when we think of middlemen, they perform their service, they take their own cut, right? So if you look at Coinbase, right, you're staking Ethereum 2.0. You are getting some kind of APR from the Ethereum blockchain. Coinbase is taking their cut out of that and they're passing on the remainder to you. We see the exact opposite with Compound Treasury. The interest rate that they are getting, and again, this is the 19th of February of 2023, the interest rate that they're getting from lending USDC is just about 2%, but they are paying their institutional clients 4%. So they're not taking a cut, they're putting more value into it than what they're making. Now, there's obviously some concerns about this. In the long run, you are essentially subsidizing to get more clients, right? Now, as we project out into the future, this obviously becomes unsustainable. So they're talking about some things, what could help. Obviously, if interest rates continue to go up, and let's say they're getting 5% lending that USDC. Well, now that 4% becomes sustainable. Now they're making a 1% profit, right? So they're hoping that the underlying interest rates on the Compound protocol go up so that they can actually start taking a cut of fees. If this doesn't happen, they mentioned in the article that they might have to limit access to new clients. So where do I see this overall? I see this as something that is very interesting because it's providing a bridge for institutional clients who just want to deal with cash, right? Standard fiat US dollars. It's giving them a way of kind of tapping into cryptocurrency at a rate that is far more attractive than what they would be able to get if they were doing it themselves. Now, I think, again, this is just completely my personal opinion, I think this is kind of like a teaser rate, right? Hey, we're trying to get these people on board. We're going to give them a higher rate. Hopefully rates go up in the future and we can start making a profit, right? That's just my personal opinion, but I would love to know what you all think. Have you heard of anyone using the Compound Treasury? Do you think these interest rates are sustainable? Do you think that this is a viable business model, kind of these intermediaries that help existing financial institutions tap into the crypto world? I'd love to know what you all have to say. As always, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.